Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You are enjoying the expansion of your personal desire? Apparently not. Well, desire feels good when there's not a big gap between the releasing of the desire or the realization of it in terms of I know I want it, and the getting of it in terms of the manifestation. In other words, we see you, that kind of desire feels good. I want it, I've got it. I want it, I've got it. I want it, I've got it. It's that gap between that I want it and I've got it that gets your goat, isn't it? We are calling this Law of Attraction workshop the art of allowing, because it really is the art of allowing the desire that is hatched within you to be. It's the art of finding yourself in vibrational alignment with what you're asking for. And while it sounds simple enough, it can be a little tricky when contrast that you're living is what gives you the clarification of the desire. In fact, the desire itself is born from the contrast. So as the desire is born and it's floating out there somewhere in what feels to you sometimes like the nebulous, distant future, when the desire is born, all that is required to close the gap on it is you offering a consistent vibration that matches that of your desire. The thing that trips so many of you up is the contrast that provided the desire to begin with is still usually quite vivid in your experience. And many of you, because you've not really been aware of how things come to you, you've pinpointed a few ways that you've seen things come, the vortex called parents, or the vortex called the job I do and therefore the money that comes in response to it. You've pinpointed these avenues through which you think your money comes, and you have come to believe something that is completely false. You believe that by really justifying or defending your negative position, that someone will then yield to you the opposite. Like pleading a needy case to your mother for something. I really need it, I really need it. If you are so unwise as a teenager to say, Mother, I would like to have such and such, she will tell you that they want water in hell too. In other words, just because you want it doesn't mean you should get it. Do you think that money grows on trees? And we are here to tell you and your mother, yes. That whatever it is you want, the universe then goes into immediate readiness of it. In fact, when contrast causes you to launch a desire, no matter how frivolous someone else thinks it is, it's valid when you launch it. When you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And as you launch those desires, they move forward, and the source part of you, did we mention the larger part of you still remains non-physically focused? Oh, you think you're the big deal here in your physical body, and you are, because you are the leading edge of all of that. You are the extension of creation. And everything that is moving forward is as a result of those like you who are having leading edge experiences and asking for leading edge things. And when your leading edge life causes you to ask for something leading edge, that source energy part of you then gives its undivided attention to the newest idea that you have hatched about how the world or your world would be better. So when an idea of desire emanates from you, the source within you literally becomes it. We've written a book that says when you ask, it is given. The title of the book tells the whole story. Ask and it is given. But an extended, clearer version would say, when you have come forth from non-physical energy, that part of you that explores the contrast and gives birth to a leading edge desire, in the moment that that happens, the larger part of you becomes the vibrational equivalent of the desire that you've hatched. And that's not something to just brush off. Oh, this is that airy-fairy vibrational non-physical stuff. Because everything that you see in this physical world, everything that is manifested, was first thought that was thought upon. In other words, there has to be a thought, and it must be a chronic thought, and it must be a non-diluted, non-contested, non-resisted thought. When a thought is hatched and it is a thought that is not contested primarily with opposite vibration, that thought becomes manifestation, and then you call it reality. And as physical humans, you make such a distinction between reality and this vibrational escrow that is this swirling vortex of attraction, that we really want to help you to no longer do that. We don't want you to say, oh, but this is reality, like that means so much, because it doesn't mean so much. The reality is just what you've come to so far. It is the bouncing off place for the new thoughts. It is the beginning of the creation that is happening now, you see. What is really doesn't mean diddly squat. It's just where you are currently standing. What matters is the direction you are looking as you are currently standing. And something that you may not know, through the contrast that you've lived, even without being aware of it, you have launched so many rockets of desire. And the source energy part of you has become a vibrational match to those rockets of desires. So before you, in a pre-paved vibrational fashion, are all of the things that you've been asking for, ready for you to become a vibrational match to them. And when you do, they manifest. And even before you become a chronic, steady, vibrational match to them, you feel really, really good. In other words, as you stand here in your powerful now, rather than looking at the now and developing this chronic case of what is itis, in other words, oh, this is what is, and did I tell you what is, and did I tell you what happens, and how are you, and how are you, and oh, look at my life now, and this is what is, and I want to be factual and tell you all of the pros and the cons of what's going on now. If instead of looking at what is right here and now, you will look forward toward this vibrational escrow where all of your future vibrational stuff is already lined up for you. If you would look forward toward that which you have launched, and in doing so, you would begin to develop a habit of thought about it. In doing so, you would become a vibrational match to what's in your vibrational escrow. And when you do that, it must manifest. It is law. But we're not giving this to you because we want so much for all of it to manifest. While we do, we want you to have a full realization and living of life of all things that you think would make you feel better. We want that for you. But we want you to understand that even in the process of forward looking, and by forward looking we mean in the direction of that which your life has caused you to give birth to, in the direction of forward looking, you always feel good. But in looking at what is, maybe not so much. In looking at where you stand, in any attitude of justifying why you deserve what you're asking for. When you beat the drum of, I don't have enough money. Where's the money? I'm worried about money. You hold yourself in a vibrational pattern where the money that is already amassed and the circumstance and event that have already been lined up elude you.